What's up, guys? So we are at the end of the Arnold weekend, and one of the neat things that the Arnold Strongman Classic actually does for all the athletes is we get to come to a major university here and do a series of medical tests, just kind of tracking our bodies, our overall health, just a variety of different things. And I think this is the fourth or fifth year, actually. I don't remember what year we started doing this, but it's been a number of different years now, and it's actually been pretty neat for me since I've been here every year to actually kind of track, my body composition and weight, and almost look back at my training. After doing this testing and say, okay, well, coming into the Arnold, I added more muscle, or was leaner, or a lot of these different things, and it's actually really fascinating because for me, I put a lot of hard work into the preparation for these contests, and then try to come in and get my body ready for the events that we actually have to do in the contest. So it's neat to be able to look at the events we had and then look at my body composition, and then obviously the overall health is very important. And I do blood work on my own, and I obviously go to the doctor and get my physicals, and I track a lot of that stuff on my own anyway. So it's neat to be able to come and do this as part of the Arnold, and it's a neat way that they give back, because we don't have to pay for any of this. It's all covered by the Arnold. So it's neat, I think, for all the guys, if they don't track it on their own, they can then come to this and get some measurable feedback on their overall health and their body and that type of thing. So one of the coolest things we get to do is a Dexa scan, and we'll be able to show you that here. But because I'm so big, they almost have to do my body in halves. So it's always a little bit of a challenge to get me on there and get the machine to work and all of that. So it's going to be pretty neat. So we're going to try to show you what we can. We have to be a little bit careful because this is a university, and this is part of a research that they're doing as well. So we've kind of been told that we have to be careful on what we film and don't film, that type of thing. So we'll try to show you what we can and bring you along for the ride, and hopefully this is a pretty fun and interesting video.
Do you think there's anything that'll make it more comfortable? Let me know.
No.
And go ahead, keep sliding up until you feel my hand. You've got a ways to go. A little bit more, because you're tall, so I want to optimize how much space we have. Okay.
Right there?
Yep. Sorry, man. You want a bag of rice while you're here?
No, I'm fine. All right. Cool. I'm excited to see the results.
Right.
What is this, a fifth year?
Yes, your fifth year. So
Man,
you've got
that's
all
great.
5 years on there.
Oh, that'll be neat to see.
Yeah. You and Hathor, we have 5 years on.
And then everybody else has been
Like hit or miss.
one or two. And
because for us, we really want to be able to get your midsection in.
okay.
Because that's, the bad fat type
Sure.
of stuff.
Sure.
But your arms should be, fairly similar. Because even if you look at your legs, well, maybe you already know this, but your right leg weighs 76 pounds and your left leg weighs 71. So your right leg has more muscle in it than your left leg.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, my left arm is bigger than my right arm.
It is in real world?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, maybe next year I'll
Yeah.
get your left arm
Okay,
in
yeah.
and we'll let
Yeah.
your right arm hang out.
It's just because of the when I tore my bicep, it was like trying to compensate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think my forearm is a little bit bigger, and then my bicep is actually a little bit bigger.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
hoping,
Try
so people are developing this table now with the technology to do body composition. So in the medical world, it's just meant to do body parts for bone density. Like you only have to scan a leg at a time or a part of the back. So that's why the viewing window is just that box.
Gotcha. So trying to
and
fit in
not
there.
really taking a stone.
No.
So although it'll handle 450 pounds, that's what it's designed for. Is
Gotcha.
Bone density.
Interesting.
Which you have no issues with bone density.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're good on that.
Not even-
You're pretty good on that.
Just my hands are wet a little bit. Okay.
I can't watch.
That's awesome. That's great, man.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Can I keep it?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
keep
that's
it.
great, JF. You know, I have a collection of these
Yeah.
at the university. We have a bunch in that case out front,
Yeah, keep
remember?
it. Yeah, that's cool.
That's fabulous. I love
Of
that.
course, you want to keep it's yours.
Okay.
Made it back from the medical testing, and they basically send us away with kind of the general report. They do a much more detailed report that they send to us in kind of like 2 to 3 months once they put it all together and get back, kind of the ECG and the blood work. They kind of put a full report together, which is really awesome. So this is all we get to walk away with today, but I'm just going to kind of highlight, a couple of the little things on here. So for this contest, and I think I said earlier, I always try to train and bring the best kind of physical package that I possibly can for the Arnold itself. And for this year, based on the events we had, the Wheel of Pain, which was a 60-second time limit of all-out work. The log was for reps, and that's typically a 2-minute time limit. For some reason, the time changed to 1:30 this year, but I was planning on 2 minutes for that one, and then the stone to shoulder was 2.5 minutes. The Husafell stone was a lot of moving. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of play the game of what to weigh, but not to be too heavy because of those, especially because of the moving events. So I was extremely dehydrated today. I actually had to sit there in order to be able to do the urine test. I had to drink I think it was like 6 bottles of water or something, and now I can't stop going to the bathroom. But I had to drink bottles of water. So my body weight actually was just under 440 pounds. So who knows what? I was thinking I was somewhere over 440 because my scale, I think, stops weighing at 440, and I was over that leading up to the contest. So that makes sense, being dehydrated, that I would be about 440. So the most impressive, by far the most impressive and exciting part of this is that from last year to this year, in 1 year I was able to put on, it's roughly 11.3 11.3 pounds of muscle tissue from last year's contest when we did this testing until this year's contest. But with adding that muscle tissue, I actually decreased my fat from slightly less than a pound. So it was basically, I stayed at the same amount of fat, but increased my muscle tissue by, like I said, just somewhere over 11 pounds. So that's by far my record in the last 5 years. The best before that looks like from 2015 to 2016, I was able to put on 6.2 pounds of lean mass or muscle tissue, and that was it. I mean, that was the best I had done. So that's pretty crazy to me, but it definitely shows as well that what I'm doing with my diet and training was working. So I was the leanest that I've ever been. So my body fat percentage was 22% body fat, and my total lean and this is a little bit weird because I can't fit my arm on the DEXA scan, so, and my feet, so it's kind of, it may actually be more than this, but my lean mass is 323.7 pounds. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy when you think about that. Just lean, that's lean mass. So basically just muscle, and then they take off for my bones, which the skeleton, if I'm reading this correctly, and now granted I may be misinterpreting this a little bit, but I think that my skeleton is 13 pounds. Now that is shocking to me, because I actually thought that one of the first years they did this, that for some reason my skeleton would be like 30 or 40 pounds, but it's not. It's even as big and tall as I am, it's like 13 pounds only. So that's really shocking. But those are the numbers that stick out the most. The cool thing for me is the trend over the last 5 years has been to get leaner and to add more muscle. So all of it is working. I mean, there's a couple years where I really didn't change from basically I was only able to put on 3 pounds of muscle from 2016 to 2017, and then I pretty much stayed the same from 2017 into 2018. So it's interesting because we definitely went back to the drawing board with my diet. We made some changes. And made those changes after World's Strongest Man, so that would have been kind of like June, July time. So I've really had about 7 or 8 months where we've kind of been able to dial that in a little bit better. But I'm obviously responding very well to that. So this is it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said earlier, it's pretty cool that they do this testing for us, and I think those are kind of the main the main highlights, if you will, of this. I mean, it kind of breaks down like, what your arms weigh, and since like they can only fit one arm on, they just copy that over. So as best as they possibly can, this is as accurate as it gets with this. But it's neat to see the numbers, and especially for me, being able to kind of see the trend over the last 5 years at this point. With the Arnold is neat. So I'll be able to get more information from the full report that they send. But anyway, hope you guys have kind of enjoyed this look into this and everything that we could tell you. Basically, I've just gone over. So for now, go out and be great, and we'll check you guys later.